young warriors for justice requires us to know our values and to stand firm on them. We can choose to negotiate with people who hold strong values on their own over things that are day to day. But what we cannot compromise on, what we have to choose to avoid negotiation for, is with people who don't hold values that center around human dignity, people who don't hold values that center around the importance of life for each of us.
Here at the Martin Luther King Jr. Freedom Center, we believe that it's imperative to have negotiation and compromise when we come to physical allowances. However, on issues of moral, on principles of human dignity, we cannot compromise. We know that within each of us, there is a moral compass, a set of values that we cannot barter or trade away. They are essential to our way of being.
Nonviolence teaches us the importance of compromise and negotiation. The value of being able to come together with people who may not necessarily agree with you. Principles that focus on the betterment of human lives and the perfecting of our union are principles that everyone needs to have. And once we continue the conversations necessary with people who may not agree with us on day-to-day issues, but have similar principles for the betterment of humanity.
The principles of nonviolence tell us that we should lean into compromise when it comes to issues of day-to-day living, logistical issues in our society. We should be able to listen to our opponent, those who have different views from us, and form a connection despite our differences. But when it comes to issues of human dignity, of the rights that every citizen in the world should have access to, of human rights, we cannot compromise our morals.
There is a social standard that cannot be breached. For example, hate speech. Even within our First Amendment, there are some things that are not allowed to be said. And this is just within our Constitution. And so it's one of the values that we must apply to our daily lives.
These negotiations should focus on issues that affect us on a day-to-day basis. But we must never compromise on our morals or our principles of the rights that humans have. We must continue to live through the lifestyle of nonviolence and ensure that the actions we have reflect the rights that everyone has to peace and love.
Through this time, we have been fortunate enough to wake up to inequalities that have existed for long periods of time. Going back to normal is choosing to go back to sleep. It is choosing to ignore the injustices that we now are awake to. We can't go back to normal because then we will be ignoring the values of human dignity.